Hello everyone, my topic is pest control. So let's go. The pest control methods are mainly of two types, one is natural and one is artificial. So, of course, the word itself gives the meaning what it means. So, now we are looking to natural pest control, and it is the pest control method which involves the natural factors without the significant influence of human activities. The natural factors like climate, topography, biological factors play a key role in the natural pest control method. So, the pest control by climatic factor. So, what are the factors here? Climatic factors, we all know what are the climatic factors. They are temperature, humidity, rainfall, air current, etc. are the climatic factors. So, on taking each, the first one is temperature. All organism needs an optimum range of temperature at each stage of their life cycle. So, if it goes up or down, or it goes above or below the optimum range, it will damage the effect of insect population and sometimes it may kill the insects. Rain also act in similar way, like normal, there is a normal optimum range of rain they want to get. They always favor the moist soil. If it goes down or up, it will seriously affect their population. Like if there is a large amount of rainfall, aphids may get fall into the soil and it leads to their death. If it's no rainfall, it also causes many other problems for their existence. The next one is humidity. Humidity helps in development of entomophagous fungi, the fungi which eats on the pest. Okay, it in turn check the insect population. And classic example for this is fungus Cephalosporium lecani. The next one is the pest control by topographic factors. So the topographic factors, what are the topographic factors? They are something like mountain ranges, large water bodies, vast desert, dense forest, etc. They limit or restrict the dispersal of insect. That is, the interventions of these topographic factors make a barrier or help for the influence or increase in the population. So the mountains check effectively the distribution of certain insects. Some insects perhaps prefer moist windward side of the mountain and other prefer leeward side. So we know the mountain is certainly a heap. The heap has two sides, and one is windward side and other one is leeward side. The windward side is a side which always get moist wind and many rainfall will be more there, but the very opposite thing will be happening in the opposite side, which is known as leeward side. The amount of rainfall getting there will be low, the amount of wind or the amount of moisture getting there will be low. So everything is like an opposite to each other. So some some pests always like leeward side conditions, or some may prefer the windward side. So it enhances or it restricts the population check of pest. The next one is the larvae of some insects survives in a stagnant or slow moving water, whereas the larvae of black flies and other cavendish live only in swift. So some prefers rivers with slow flowing water and one prefer rivers with very fast moving water. So soil type is also an important factor which supports the insect population. Some insects live only in poorly drained soil. And the last one is pest control by biological enemies. We all are familiar about biological enemies. So they may be the parasites, pathogens, or predators. Predators include other insects, mites, spiders, birds, reptiles, fishes, and mammals. And the parasite also include insects, mites, and disease-causing viruses, bacteria, and fungi. Predators, pathogens, and parasites keep the insect population in dynamic equilibrium and at its optimum size. But any change in the size of the insect population or the population of natural enemies will disturb the equilibrium. So ആക്ച്വലി ഇതിൽ പറയുന്നത് എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പാരസൈറ്റ്സും പാത്തോജൻസും പ്രീഡേറ്റേഴ്സും ആരെ ദ്രോഹിക്കുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർക്ക് പ്രേ ആയിരിക്കും നമ്മുടെ പെസ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. സോ by this mechanism, by this predator or pathogen or by parasite, we can make an equilibrium or we can make a dynamic equilibrium to make the optimum size of that population. So this is a just flow chart of what we had said earlier, that is there is a natural enemy and there is an insect pest and there is agriculture resource and human intervention. So the arrows truly shows what is happening there. And the very next method, so now we had completed the natural pest control methods, and the next one is artificial. So as we said, the natural methods are related to natural factors. So artificial pest control method is employed by a man, or it is artificially made. They are absolutely under the control of men, and their success depends upon the strategy adopted by them. So for doing the artificial method, we should know or learn, we should gain knowledge about the pest program, their taxonomy, their morphology, their life cycle, natural history, seasonal behaviors, etc. The artificial method of pest control can be grouped into two, that is prophylactic or preventive method, and the next one is curative or palliative method. So the first one, prophylactic or preventive method, it is something that means it is precautions we had been taken to get away from that disease. And the next one is curative method. Once if it got diseased or if got infested, how can we make it more easy than becoming more destructive? Or how can we cure this? How can we prevent this? It is the care tips. So prophylactic എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ രോഗം വരുന്നതിന് മുൻപ് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യേണ്ട കാര്യങ്ങൾ, വി ആർ മച്ച് മോർ known about that during the time of COVID-19. നമുക്കറിയാം അത് വരാതിരിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി we used to get sanitized. നമ്മൾ കൈയൊക്കെ സാനിറ്റൈസ് ചെയ്യും. We used to put mask, we used to put PP kits. Everything is only for getting prevention from that. And once ഇത് നമുക്ക് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ we get isolated. We take many sorts of medicines. We use many sorts of things, and many things were being done by us for getting a cure. So prophylactic method is the first one. Field and plant sanitization, that is just removal of weeds, grasses or pest affected parts of the cropland from the field, and by eliminating the source of infestation we can improve the quality of planting. Next one is use of healthy and pest-free seeds. Like scientific agriculture methods are used, the pest-free or healthy seeds are used. Seeds and seedlings, planting materials with help to minimize the pest attack to next crop. The third one is use of pest-resistant varieties of plants and seeds. Some varieties of plants are more resistant to pest. Selection of pest-resistant plant is also a very important thing. So we had said that field sanitization is important measure, and scientific method of plantation is important, and the selection of seeds, we should select seeds on the basis of their disease resistance power, their productivity power. Everything is so important, and in each stage of cultivation. And the time adjustment, it's very core important thing, that is adjustment of the time of sowing is an important prophylactic measure to control the pest population. So to minimize the pest plant contact, what we can do, erection of physical barriers. That means through this method we are only trying to minimize the contact between the pest and the plant. By minimizing this we can eradicate them, or by using this method the target of the plant is simple method, and the contact between the plant and the contact between the pest and the target plant should be minimized for controlling the pest attack. So first one is erection of physical barriers, fences, fly trap, insect-proof packing of plant produces and stored products, etc. Next is quarantine measures to prevent the entry of harmful pests. And the next one is use of sensory barriers and use of physical or chemical attractant to attract pests away from the crops. So by this method, minimizing the pest and plant contact makes a very good preventive method. So that's end of this session. Thank you. Have a nice day.